does appear as though this is on the edge of Elk County right now. So it's moving over Clarion at the moment. It would appear as though this is a severe thunderstorm that is indeed capable of producing a tornado. So it does appear this is currently outside of our coverage area at the moment. It is located over the Clarion area and moving northeast at the moment right now at 60 miles an hour. So it's in Jefferson at the moment. We'll continue to track northeastward, moving into Clearfield and likely even clipping into St. Mary's. You can see that for Elk County right here. Looks like we could see maybe this move into the region. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this. As a matter of fact, I had said to my producers just before we went on here that there is indeed some radar indicated rotation with this system. So there is a good chance that we can maybe see something get produced with this. So this is exactly why we do have the weather impacts for today. We have tornadoes, which could be very isolated. Now, these are on the low end of the area here for our weather impacts for the day. So tornadoes, hail, high winds, and even flooding. So I'm now hearing that we are going into a special report. I just want to welcome our viewers from ABC 23 and Fox 8. Thank you for joining us here. I just want to reiterate, we do have a tornado warning that actually just popped up outside of our coverage area right now. It is in Jefferson County, located over Clarion. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing an isolated tornado. So there is some pretty good radar indicated rotation with this system right now, moving at 60 miles an hour northeastward. Again, this is outside of our coverage area, but could be moving into our coverage here in a little bit. So this is a fun little tool that I can use to give us a rough idea of the timing right now. So here we go. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. Again, I just want to say thank you for joining us for our ABC Fox viewers as well as our NBC viewers here. We just got a tornado warning from the NWS that will expire at 6 p.m. this evening unless extended otherwise. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, as there is indeed radar indicated rotation. I've been tracking this for the past hour now. We've been seeing a good amount of rotation possible with this system, which could produce a tornado. So this is creating some very gusty winds above 60 miles an hour, quarter-sized hail. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, and it is going to continue to track northeastward here. So this is a rough timeline of where we could be seeing this move into with the timeline of this. So for day, this could maybe reach in about 5 minutes or so at 5:30, as well as for the rest of the areas here that you see, as we could continue to see this move northeastward here. So I want to highlight some of the rotation that we could possibly continue to see develop with this right now. So this is going to be something called velocity, and this gives you an idea of where we could be seeing that tornado pop up. Basically, there's two different colors that you could get with this. There's going to be green, and then there's going to be red. They mean towards and away, and you'll see that as soon as this pops up here on the screen behind me. So here we go right now. You can see those colors behind me at the moment. So towards would mean we have it green. It's moving towards the radar, which would be the Doppler 6 that you see right here. So as the storm continues to move northeastward, it would be green. But if you start to see some red with this, like we are right now, this is that rotation where we could be seeing that tornado pop up. So we're going to focus in on this right now. Again, this is outside of our coverage area at the moment, but very well could be moving into it. We're specifically looking right now at the northern portion of Jefferson County right here. You can see this moving into that right now. So the northern area of Jefferson could very much see this possibly move into the region here. You can see all of that rotation right now. So that's the red that you're seeing right here. This is where we could see on the back end of the storm that tornado pop on up. Now, there is not one on the ground right now. I just want to reiterate that. This is just a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, as we are seeing that radar indicated rotation. So because of that red right here, this is where we're getting the rotation of that system. This is exactly why we did get that tornado warning pop up. Now, this is in effect until 6 p.m. It's moving into Jefferson County right now, was located over Clarion and moving northeastward at the moment at 50 miles an hour. Now, this could also even move into Elk County as well, towards the little edge right here. We have that notch. This is going to be in that path in addition. Speaking of the path, let's take a look at the timing of this and when we could see this system affect some portions in our coverage area here. So here we go. We currently have this at 5:35, so within the next 8 minutes or so, this could be moving into the region. For Heath, 5:41 p.m. For Greenbrier, 5:45 p.m. At 5:52, this could be making its way into Carmen, and at 5:56, we'll possibly see this move into Sackett. So this is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. This is exactly why the NWS has issued that tornado warning. We're currently seeing some radar-indicated rotation, indicative of the different color that you see here. This should all be green, but because we're seeing that rotation capable of producing a tornado, we're getting that red signature right now. This should all be green, but because we have that rotation, there is the chance we could maybe maybe see that tornado pop up that you can see right here with the different colors towards the radar. This is why it should all be green, but because of that rotation, we're seeing some red. This is exactly why we do have that tornado warning that just popped up not too long ago here in our coverage area. So you can see with this system moving northeastward right now, we have some very gusty thunderstorms. As a matter of fact, here in Pennsylvania, it is way outside of our coverage area, but Erie also does have a tornado warning. If you know any folks up there, give them a call and let them know. Make sure that they are staying safe because these systems could be possibly producing a tornado here. So we are seeing some very gusty thunderstorms, some pretty large hail up to a quarter size. That's about an inch worth of hail that we could be seeing move through. Wind gusts above 60 miles an hour, along with some very heavy downpours and a lot of frequent lightning strikes, in addition to that rotation where we could be seeing this tornado move into the region. So this was located initially over Clarion, moving northeastward right now into Jefferson County, as well as St. Mary's. This is a rotational storm right now. We could possibly be seeing a tornado pop up with this. It is a mesocyclone that we're going to be seeing move into our region right now. It's just knocking on the doorstep. You can see right outside of Jefferson County, right there, a little bit further north of Punxsutawney and Du Bois. This is into the northernmost area of the county here where we are going to possibly see this tornado's path move into. So right now we do not have any reports of a tornado on the ground, but this is a very severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. There is radar indicated rotation with this. We don't see a tornado on the ground at the moment, and there is the chance, again, that we could possibly see a tornado pop up out of this. So if you do indeed end up seeing a tornado or you start hearing the howls of the wind, you are definitely going to want to take shelter. As a matter of fact, if you live in this region right here towards the north of Jefferson County, as well as the notch into Elk right here where we could see this continue to move into, again, I want to reiterate, the tornado warning is not in Elk County just yet. It's just in the northern part of Jefferson here, but you can see this notch where the storm path is continuing to move. This could possibly get initiated into Elk County as well if this does get extended by the NWS, if that radar indicated rotation doesn't start to die off. Right now, there's still a decent signature with that as this continues to move northeastward. So if you are within this path, you are absolutely going to want to take shelter. And if you don't know how to do that, well, I'm going to tell you right now with a little bit of tornado safety. So in the event of a tornado, this is what you are going to want to do. You are absolutely going to want to get between the most interior part of your house compared to the exterior. What exactly does that mean? Well, that would mean you want to get the most walls between you and the outside. Now, the best portion that you could get if you do not have a basement, because that is always the best thing you want to do. You want to go underground or get to the lowest level of your house possible. But not all houses have a basement, including mine. So what would you do in a case of that? Well, your best bet is usually sometimes a closet, because that's going to have the most walls between you and the exterior. If you have an interior hall, that's also a good bet, or maybe even the stairs too, because you're going to have some more walls between you and the exterior of your house. And if you have a bathroom and you don't have a really good interior spot, well, that's also going to be a good spot. Best bet, get your friends and your family, if you have them there, including your pets, into the tub, get a mattress, put it over your head. This is if you don't have a basement, because again, a basement is going to be your best bet. So make sure you're taking shelter immediately if you are within the path of this system, as it is a very gusty thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. There's currently some radar indicated rotation with this, so I just want to reiterate this right now, what that velocity means and how we get that radar indicated rotation. So there's two colors on the map here that you see here. There's towards and there's also away. So this would be our Doppler 6, and all of the storm motion as it moves toward the Doppler 6 should be green. However, we're starting to see a little bit of red pop up with this system, and that's where the rotation starts to come in. It should all be green, but because of that rotation, the radar's thinking it's moving away, but it's actually not. That's just the rotation of that storm where you could get that tornado to pop on up. So we're still seeing a good amount of a signature with this right now. It's becoming a little bit more disorganized, but there is still a good amount of rotation right here at this spot. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm that is indeed capable of producing a tornado. It was located initially over Clarion, continuing to move northeast into the northernmost area of Jefferson County. Now, this is also possibly going to move into Elk County as well. You can see here the notch of Elk at the moment, where we could maybe see this storm path also continue into. Now, this is going to possibly produce a tornado. Other than that, we are seeing some very gusty winds up to 60 plus miles an hour, along with some very large hail up to a quarter size. That's about an inch's worth. Some very large hail. So if you have vehicles, do expect damage to that. But most importantly, if you are within the path of this, you are absolutely going to want to take shelter immediately. So let's take another look and see where we could possibly have this system move into over the next couple of minutes here. So in 5:32, it's moving over radar at the moment right now. Corsica, we can maybe see this at 5:35 p.m. Seigel, 5:43 p.m. At Heath, 5:48, and Blowton, 5:51 p.m. So this is going to continue to move northeastward at 55 miles an hour at the moment. This is a pretty gusty thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado at the moment here. I want to show you where we have that gate-to-gate shear at the moment. So that velocity is at 10 meters a second. This isn't crazy strong at the moment, but it is still enough that we could see this possibly pop up a tornado here. This is exactly why we do still have that tornado warning in effect until 6 p.m. this evening. If the NWS decides to take this off, we will know as this will pop, this will actually disappear where you see that red box. However, we are going to continue to see this move northeastward, possibly giving us the chance of a tornado here. So this is exactly why we do have that velocity showing you here, but I want to go back to the radar itself to show you a little bit of a better look where we could see this move into here, because there's a little bit less going on. It's a little bit easier to see the counties here on the radar side. So right now we have that very heavy rain here, along with some lightning strikes, some very gusty winds, and even a bit of hail with this system as it continues to move northeastward into the region. As a matter of fact, I want to take this graphic full so I can give you a better look at this at the moment here. We're going to blow this up to full screen so you can actually get a better shot of how this is looking here, because I'm just blocking the screen here at this point. We can get that up here in a second. So as you can see here, we do have this storm moving through right now. This is capable of producing a tornado. There is the chance that we could maybe see one out of this, but at the moment there is not one reported here. We are just seeing some radar indicated rotation. As a matter of fact, though, our hail has been promoted from a quarter inch, which was, from quarter size, which is roughly an inch in diameter, to 1.25. So that is a little bit over a quarter's worth. We are going to see a good amount of hail with this system, in addition to some very gusty winds. This was a tornado warning issued right around 5:30 a little bit while ago. It looks like this was re-extended here into the region. So this will be in effect until 6 p.m. This was located over Clarion and moving northeastward into the Jefferson County area, and maybe even Elk as well. So this is a very severe storm moving northeast at 35 miles an hour, capable of producing a tornado and $half size hail. If you don't know roughly what $half is, that is about 1.25 inches in diameter here. So as you can see with the tornado warning at the moment, I just want to zoom in on this while we still have the graphic full to give you a better look, and as well as the path of this in addition. So you can see here where this is currently over. It's going to continue to move northeastward at 35 miles an hour. This was located 6 miles east of Clarion here and moving into Jefferson County as well as Elk County as well. So at 5:37 we could see this moving in today, so that's not too long from now, as well as the other areas that you see here on the screen. So we do want to be able to get you some idea of how you can be able to stay safe here with this system moving in. So we want to pivot over really quickly to a little bit of tornado safety. I showed this a little bit earlier, but I do want to show it to you one more time. So with the tornado safety graphic here, this is what you're going to want to do if you are within that area of the tornado. So with a tornado, what do you do when this rolls into the region? Well, if you have a basement, get your friends, get your family, get your pets, and get down there right now. That is the best bet that you're going to have. But if you're like me and you don't have a basement, what do you do next? Well, you're going to want to find the most interior part of your house. Basically, that would mean where you have the most walls between you and the exterior of your home. So this could be a hallway, maybe even a closet. That's a very good bet, or maybe even a stairwell as well. But if you don't have a really most interior spot of your house, a bathroom's also a good bet. If you can, get your mattress and get it to your tub, put the mattress over your head, and then wait for the tornado to pass by if it is moving into your region. That is going to be the best bet that you have if you do not have a basement. Your basement is always going to be the best spot that you are going to be able to take cover, and this is going to be the best bet that you have to keep yourself safe with this system. So again, this is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. There is some good radar indicated rotation with this. NWS popped this up a little bit ago here, and it will continue into 6 p.m. this evening. We are seeing up to $half size hail. That's about 1.25 inches worth of hail. That is very large, and you could see a good amount of damage with that to roofs, vehicles, and other things in the area here. We're also seeing some good lightning strikes and a lot of heavy rain moving with with this system, in addition to wind gusts up and above 60 miles an hour here. So zooming in a little bit closer, I do want to show you where we are going to continue to see this move. So this was initially located right around Clarion, about 6 miles eastward of that, and is continuing to move northeast at 35 miles an hour into the northern area of Jefferson County. And if it can continue to keep even a little bit of rotation here, we might be able to see this move into Elk as well. That would be the most western notch here that we can maybe see moving into the Elk County area. So this is about where we could possibly see this get extended into as this continues to move northeastward here into our regions. Again, this is a very, very powerful thunderstorm capable of producing some very gusty winds, heavy downpours, in addition to the chance of an isolated tornado. So I want to go back to our actual looping radar here in a second as this loads here. I'm going to wait for this to start looping again in a second. There we go. So we have a better shot a little bit further out here. You can see there isn't nearly as much here in central to even a little bit further south here. Spots like Johnstown, Somerset, there's an isolated cell over Bedford, but the one that we're focusing on right now again is the one that was located east of Clarion by around 6 miles, and this is moving northeastward into northern Jefferson right now. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. We've been seeing some radar indicated rotation with this. As a matter of fact, I want to pull this back up full one more time so I can show you that radar indicated rotation, because it's a lot easier for me to actually zoom in instead of blocking the screen right here. So we're going to change that over to the velocity right now, and we're going to zoom in just a moment here to show you where we could see this possibly pop up a tornado. So here we go right now. We're going to pull this up in a second here, and then you can see exactly where we're going to have this. So there we go. We got this back up to full, and we are going to be showing you why that velocity is so important. So as we have this moving towards the Doppler 6 satellite and radar, towards the Center County where we do have that Doppler 6, this is going to be all green, or at least it should be. But because we're seeing some of that radar indicated rotation, you're seeing a little bit of red pop into that green, and which should actually all be green here. And that radar indicated rotation is causing the chance for maybe a tornado to pop up. Again, there is not one on the ground at this point. We have not gotten any reports of that so far, thankfully. However, there is still some good radar indicated rotation with this system, as it could possibly spawn a tornado as this continues to move northeastward into Jefferson County, as you can see here. So it's moving into Heath at the moment, and maybe even possibly Elk as well. We're going to be keeping a very close eye on this as this continues to move northeastward. It is still producing a good amount of rotation, up to around 7 miles an hour or so, but again, this could possibly strengthen a little bit more, and if it does, we could maybe see this tornado warning get extended a little bit further into the evening here. So as we shift it back over to the radar here, I want to show you exactly how this is going to continue to move. Oh, look at that. We did get another tornado warning just pop up. Now, thankfully, this is way outside of our coverage area here. You can see it way up into New York there. We still have that one by Erie as well. These are some very gusty thunderstorms, everybody. You can see the power these things are packing. We are seeing numerous tornado warnings pop up across the region, in addition to some severe thunderstorm warnings that we have literally been seeing throughout the entire evening here. Now, a lot of these are towards the north. They are in our northern areas right now, and they are going to continue to possibly produce a tornado, especially this system. So I want to throw it over to Jen and Sean right now that are going to go over a couple of tips and tricks that you can do. More importantly, the safety tips. So I'm going to send that over to them, and they're going to tell you how to stay safe with a tornado.
Thank you, Joey. Again, we'll let you catch your breath. I know you are monitoring a lot at the moment. Joey is going to continue to track this for us, but a look at some of these safety tips. Like Joey had been doing a great job of mentioning, you do want to get to the lowest level of your home. If that is not possible, get to the most centralized area of your home. As we show you this diagram, for example, something like the middle hallway and middle closet there that we have lit up in green. You want to avoid windows, doors, any outside walls. You want to be in the most interior part of your home. Cover yourself with blankets or mattresses for protection. The safest place to be is the basement of your home if you do have one.
And also, don't waste any time opening windows in an attempt to prevent damage to your home or building. It's an old folklore that, damage could result from that rapid pressure change during a tornado. Well, it's just not true. It will not make any difference in a tornado if the window is open or not.
And you do want to leave your vehicle or mobile home if you are in one of those two. You want to seek shelter in a basement, again, or the interior of a sturdy structure. Now, as far as people in mobile homes, you are encouraged to leave that mobile home and go to a nearby safe structure if that is possible. And again, you want to avoid all windows, cover yourself with whatever you can if you are in the area of this tornado warning.
Sean mentioned if you're in a vehicle, you find out that, you're under a tornado warning. If you're caught in that vehicle, try to get out and get into nearby sturdy shelter. If there is nothing nearby, get to a low spot and cover your head from flying debris. Don't try to take cover either under an overpass. It does not provide adequate shelter during a tornado and can cause increased wind speeds due to a tunneling effect. Again, the National Weather Service has declared a tornado warning for the northeastern part of Jefferson County. And that means a developing tornado has been detected by the NWS Doppler radar or has been reported on the ground by reliable sources.
And Kevin, our director here, if you could pull these up on screen, we want to show some of the power outage numbers that you could refer to. If you lose power at any time and have service, remember this number. That is 1-888-544-4877. That's 1-888-LIGHTS. That number will get you to Penelec. Now, again, do not call 911 if you have a power outage, but you do want to contact emergency services if you see damaged wires down in your area. But let's check back in with meteorologist Joey Walker as he continues to track this tornado warning.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. So taking a look here at the Doppler 6 satellite and radar, you can see this system continuing to move northeastward. As a matter of fact, it does look like the NWS has trimmed the size of that right now. You can actually see, so this was initially located over Clarion by east around 6 miles, just around here or so, and then it continues to move northeastward. So this tornado warning actually did stretch a little bit further out. However, this is being trimmed as this storm moves in real time. This tornado warning will be moving with this as well. So the areas that we're really keeping an eye on right now, of course, is northernmost Jefferson County as this system continues to move throughout the northern area here. This is tracking northeastward at around 35 miles an hour, so it's moving at a pretty good speed here. Now, aside from the tornado warning and the issues that we'll be seeing with that, possibly with a tornado popping up, we're also seeing some very gusty winds at above 60 miles an hour. That is very strong. That's actually at the strength of straight line winds, and we could be seeing some damage from that, in addition to half-dollar sized hail. Now, if you've ever heard me say quarter size hail, well, that's around the size of a quarter. It's about an inch's worth. So half-dollar size is about an inch, 0.25. So it's about an inch and a quarter. That is very large hail. We could be expecting some damage with that in addition to the winds. As a matter of fact here, this does look like it is strengthening a little bit. I really want to take a quick look at the radar indicated rotation here. So we are still seeing around radar indicated rotation of around 32 miles an hour. That is pretty significant here. I can see exactly why the NWS is keeping this trimmed as this continues to move northeastward here. So this is a very severe thunderstorm, everybody, that is capable of producing a tornado. We have been seeing some pretty good sustained radar indicated rotation with this. Now, it doesn't seem like it was quite as strong when we first saw this thing pop up east of Clarion, about 6 miles there. As this continues to move northeastward, it is still sustaining itself quite enough that we can see this tornado warning continue to get trimmed as this storm moves in real time. As a matter of fact, it used to be a little bit further outside of our coverage area, but this was cut off, and we are now seeing the updated path of this as this continues to move northeastward. This is producing some very heavy rain, some large hail, in addition to some very strong winds, as well as the chance for that tornado. So this has a lot of radar indicated rotation. I've been throwing that around a lot, so I want to show you exactly what that means if you haven't heard me talk about it before. So with radar indicated rotation, essentially what this means is we're seeing some rotation within the system, which could possibly cause a tornado to spawn with this here. And the reason why we can actually see this on the radar is with the velocity. This plays a very key thing into the formation of these tornadoes. So as a matter of fact, this should all be green. If this was just a normal thunderstorm, it would all be green as this continues to move to, northeast towards the radar. However, because of that rotation, we're starting to see a little bit move away from it. And that's where that rotation comes in, where we could see the tornado spawn. spawn with this. So again, this is a very, very gusty thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. You can see here the NWS keeps trimming this a little bit as this continues to move northeastward. It is just over northern Jefferson County, but we could possibly see this move into the far western portion of Elk County. It's that little notch that Elk County has there. This is actually going to be moving directly over that right now. So I don't quite know the exact little municipalities there, but with this wonderful little tool here, you can see exactly, if you are within that coverage area, where we could get this. So, and it's actually right over Cycle right now, 5:47 p.m., moving into Heath at 5:52 p.m., at Halton, 6 p.m., and at Portland Mills, we could see that a little bit after at 6:03 p.m. as this continues to move northeastward here into the region. So this is a very strong thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado here in Pennsylvania. So if you are over this area right now, you are absolutely going to want to take shelter immediately. Now, if you're someone who has a mobile home, if you have friends or family that have an actual house, get there immediately and get to their basement as soon as you can. That is going to be the best way that you are going to keep yourself safe from this very gusty thunderstorm. Now, if you do have a house that has a basement, go there immediately. But if you don't, well, the best chance for you to stay safe is to get into the most interior spot of your house. That would be maybe a bathroom, but we would definitely want that to be on the ground level. Do not go upstairs. That is the last thing you want to do. So if you do not have a basement, get your friends, your family, your pets into that bathroom. Get into the tub if you can, all huddle in there and throw a mattress or a blanket over your head. That is going to be the best thing that you can do if you do not have a basement, but the go-to is absolutely a basement. That is going to be the lowest level of your house. That is the best chance that you'll have to keep yourself, your friends, family, and your pets safe. This is a very gusty thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. This is still moving northeast. It was located just east of Clarion, around 6 miles, and it has continued to moving into Jefferson County right now. So this is a thunderstorm indeed capable of producing that tornado. We're still seeing some radar indicated rotation with this. Other than the tornado, the other big threats are definitely going to be hail, gusty winds in general up to 60+ miles an hour, along with that hail up to half-dollar size. That's about 1.25 inches in diameter. That is very large, and we are expecting some damage from that, in addition to maybe even some flash flooding with a lot of this very heavy rain that we are seeing with this very gusty thunderstorm. So again, I want to reiterate, this was outside of our coverage area a little bit ago here, but it is still sustaining a good amount of rotation and strength as this continues to move into northern Jefferson County and possibly even Elk as well. I'm really hoping that we're going to start to see this begin to lose a little bit of steam, but that's not quite the case just yet. We could maybe see that happen a little bit later on into the evening, but I do want to show you here just in general all across the area. We have been seeing some very gusty storms in general here. Erie still has that tornado warning that they had way before we even had ours. That was back at 5 o'clock, a little bit earlier at the top of the hour. We actually saw that pop up. Now that's way outside of our coverage, but it just goes to show you that these storms are really packing a lot of punch here. We are going to be able to see a lot of energy with this system here. So we're going to pull up that graphic full really quick here to show you exactly as I zoom in, because unfortunately if we don't do that, I'm just kind of blocking it here. So as you can see, this is moving into Heath at the moment. This is a tornado warning from the NWS. It is still in effect for about another 10 minutes here as this continues to move northeastward at around 35 miles an hour, moving into Heath at the moment and possibly even Elk County after that. So this is also going to possibly be moving into Millstone in addition to Heath, as it is currently over that right now. As a matter of fact, I just want to say now that the tornado warning is still being trimmed in real time. The NWS is continuing to keep a very close eye on this, just as we are here at 6 News. So please stay with us here. I just want to say again, thank you for joining us. For our ABC and Fox viewers, we have that special report here because there is indeed a tornado warning. Now, it was canceled out of northeastern Clarion County, but it is still in Jefferson right now in real time. This is going to continue to move northeastward here at around 35 miles an hour. We're seeing some very strong winds with this, in addition to half-dollar size hail. That's 1.25 inches in diameter, very large. Expect damage to homes, maybe the roofs, maybe glass, as well as vehicles. We could be seeing some damage with this as that hail is very large, in addition to those very gusty winds. Now, in the event that we do see a tornado form, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. If you are someone who lives in a mobile home, this could be damaged severely or even destroyed. They do not offer a good amount of protection against a tornado. If you have friends or family, call them up, get there immediately, and seek shelter in their basement if they do have one. If they don't, you absolutely want to get into the most interior part of your house. That could be a closet or even a bathroom. If you have a bathroom, get into that tub and make sure it's on the ground floor. You do not want to go upstairs. As a matter of fact, you want to go downstairs. The best bet for you to stay safe between you and a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is to get into your basement immediately. I cannot stress that enough. Get your friends, your family, your pets, and get to the basement now, because this is a very gusty storm capable of producing a tornado. We're continuing to see this move northeastward at around 35 miles an hour. And other than the tornado, we have been seeing some very heavy rain with this, in addition to some very, very gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour. So it's really moving into Heath. It's almost right over the top right now. So if you're in that area, get to shelter immediately. It'll also be moving into Halton right after that, and Aurora after that as well. So this is a tornado warning in effect right now and continuing up until about 6 p.m. unless the NWS decides to extend it even further. At the top of the hour here at 6 o'clock, we will know as they let this, as we see this move actually into Elk County right now. So this is in northern Jefferson at the moment, moving into Elk County. We're going to take another look at the velocity chart here and see exactly what's going on. So we do still have a little bit of rotation here that we are picking up with this system. So this is exactly why we do have that warning still popping here. However, it does actually look like it's starting to die a little bit with that rotation. It's not becoming as defined, but still. This is indeed a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. I want to actually take a look at our St. Mary's weather eye. So it's not quite at St. Mary's just yet. So that's actually Bedford right there. It still hasn't updated right now. Our graphic up top has, but the camera is still lagging behind just a little bit. There we go. So you can actually see towards the right of the screen there, just under the Severe Weather Team 6 logo, that really dark cloud rolling in there. That is that very severe thunderstorm. I wish I could pivot this camera a little bit to the right, but unfortunately it is fixed. There is no swivel for me to do that here. So I do want to shift back right now to our live Doppler 6 satellite and radar to show you exactly how this is continuing to move. So over the last 2 hours, I've been monitoring this very closely as it had been producing a good amount of rotation with the system, and it will continue to be moving northeastward here over the next over the next hour or so here. So we're actually getting very close to 6 o'clock. You can actually see the tornado warning will expire right around 6 here in our time at the moment. So this is moving over Heath right now. Very gusty thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. There is still some sustained radar indicated rotation. It's not quite as strong as it was when we first saw it, but there is still quite enough for this to possibly produce a tornado here. So I want to stress that enough. If you are within the path here as this continues to move northeastward into Elk County, if you are within this region here, you are going to want to get ready to take shelter immediately. If you know this is happening and you know friends and family that maybe aren't watching, give them a call right now and let them know that this is moving into the area. This is very important. The quicker you act, the better the chance you're going to have to keep yourself, your friends, your family, and your pets safe. That is the best thing you're going to want to do if you know anybody in this region right here. So I want to zoom in a little bit closer so I can actually show you the path of this as this continues to move into the region. This is a fun little tool that can show us roughly the path of this and when we could see the timing of this move into. So here's the times where we could see this. If you are in any of these areas here, as this continues to move northeastward here at 35 miles an hour, there is the chance that we could maybe see a tornado pop with this. Again, this will be expiring at 6 p.m. unless the NWS decides to actually extend this a little bit more, which I could possibly see them doing here as this continues to move into Elk County. They'd be doing that at the top of the hour here, keeping a very close eye on this as we're still seeing some decent radar indicated rotation. Some pretty good shear with this in addition. Now, I know that's a meteorological term, but that is producing, this system is producing a good amount of shear, which actually is indicative of the strength of this. And as a matter of fact, speaking of strength, you can see these storms in general all across the region here, from Erie to our region in northern Jefferson, even all the way up in New York. These storms are very, very strong. They have been producing a good amount of rotation, very large hail, flash flooding, in addition to a lot of lightning and some very gusty winds. We've been seeing wind gusts up to and above 60 miles an hour. We've been seeing a lot of storm report damage of broken tree limbs, even uprooted trees in some regions. So very strong winds with this system. Again, with this severe thunderstorm over northern Jefferson right now, this is still in effect for about the next 3 minutes here. We are still seeing a little bit of radar indicated rotation with this. It has moved, it's still moving into northern Jefferson right now, but more importantly, it is starting to actually also move into Elk as well, this little notch right here. So if you know anybody within Elk County as this continues to move, let them know. And if you are within northern Jefferson as well, you absolutely are going to want to take shelter if you have not already. We're still keeping a very close eye on this. There is still a little bit of radar indicated rotation here, as we could maybe see the chance of a tornado spawning with this. We haven't been seeing any reports of an observed tornado or anything like that, so that is good. We're still keeping a very close eye on that. I'm actually taking a look right now from the latest NWS reports. Not seeing anything at the moment here from the NWS here, but still have a very, very strong storm though. So the severe threat is definitely going to be with that tornado, but we could also maybe see a downburst with this. If you've ever heard of that, that's another very powerful thing that we could see with this. It's essentially just like a downburst. We see a lot of wind very quickly, and that creates like straight line wind damage. So that is very powerful as well. And we could maybe see this possibly happen with this in addition to the wind and the hail. So this will continue for western Elk County as this continues to move outside of northern Jefferson. So it's still in northern Jefferson at the moment here, but it is starting to move into Elk County. We're keeping a very close eye on this as it does continue to move northeastward here at 35 miles an hour. So this is going to continue to possibly produce a tornado. We're still seeing a little bit of that radar indicated rotation, and there is the chance that maybe we could see a tornado pop up with this. It is possible, but it isn't actually observed just yet. We're still seeing that radar indicated rotation, and we are going to maybe see this actually get extended here. Keeping a very close eye on this. We're still seeing that rotation, but other than the rotation, this is producing some very large hail up to $half size, wind gusts up to 60+ miles an hour, flash flooding. This is not a good system. It is producing a lot of storm damage here, and we are keeping a very close eye on this as it continues to move northeastward from northern Jefferson into Elk County, particularly where we have this notch right here as this continues to move right into this right now. So we're keeping a very close eye on this. It's actually right over 949 right now, as it looks like on the map here. So I want to zoom out just a little bit more just to show you how this is still moving here with the rotation of this system. So here you go. This is continuing to move northeastward here. It's moving into Elk County right now, just starting to exit northern Jefferson at the moment. Still very powerful, producing some very heavy rain, gusty winds, and maybe the chance of an isolated tornado. Thankfully, it does not have the same amount of rotation as it did when we first went on the air with this special report for the tornado warning. We're getting very close to the expiration of this, just under about a minute and a half here. We'll see if the NWS decides to extend this into Elk County. They would do that at the top of the hour at 6 o'clock, as that's just how they tend to do things with this. It's very nice when it comes to increments of 15, so quarter of the hour, half hour, etc. So this will continue to keep moving northeastward here. We're going to see within about a minute here whether or not this will actually end up extending into Elk County. Again, I want to reiterate, there's still a little rotation with this system, but it's not quite the same as it was when we first went on the air with this, with the rotation that it was packing. It had a little bit more speed, but we're still seeing this continue to move into Elk right now. There is the chance that we could maybe see this produce a tornado. Again, we haven't been seeing any observations of that just yet, but there is the chance that that could maybe happen here as we continue to see this system move northeastward into the Elk County area. It's actually starting to cross the county line. You can see that with the heart of the system. That's that little bit of white that you see here. That's the heaviest of that reflectivity. As a matter of fact, if you don't know what reflectivity is, that's how the radar works. So when the radar actually bounces the waves of, oh, there we go, done. It's gone, and well, that's pretty good for us here. So again, we're going to be keeping a very, very close eye on this. This is still producing a little bit, but again, NWS has decided to cancel this. This is very good for us. We haven't been seeing that. So thankfully, we are still good here. We are out of the woods. We'll be keeping a very close eye on us. Stay with us here on 6 News. We're going to send it back to break.